This last news story comes from Kat Bailey again.
She's on a roll.
On a roll over there. Hideo Kojima compares OD to Boktai, says it will be just as different. What is OD? We don't know much, save that it's being made in collaboration with Jordan Peele, and that it will feature a lot of familiar Hollywood celebs screaming silently into the screen, probably. Predictably, creator Hideo Kojima is calling it a game, a movie, and a new form of media. He's also comparing it to Boktai, The Sun Is in Your Hands, a cult favorite series on Game Boy Advance and Nintendo DS that was a big departure at the time for Kojima, who's best known for his work on Metal Gear Solid. Here's a tweet of his.
It's his Hi-Fi Rush.
It seems I have been acknowledged by creating games that go against the current of the time, such as hide-and-seek games where you sneak into a building without being detected by the enemy, or delivery games where you enjoy moving around in an open world. For me, the most experimental game was defeating vampires outside your house, using actual sunlight around you. It was met with fierce opposition from the staff and even within the company. In that sense, OD is just as different. In Boktai, you play a vampire hunter named Django, who battles the undead with the help of a solar gun powered by real-life sunlight. The cartridge famously included a solar sensor that charged up the in-game weapons needed to defeat Boktai's vampires. Writing on Twitter, Kojima recalled the fierce opposition he received when he first pitched Boktai. It seems I have been acknowledged by creating games that go against the current of the times. I already read the tweet, but so in that sense, OD is different. It's just one more teaser for OD, which remains as mysterious as Death Stranding when it was first revealed. Peele, meanwhile, has claimed that OD will be immersive and utterly terrifying. We don't know how much else about OD, save that it's being developed on Unreal Engine 5 and that it will feature Sophia Lillis, Hunter Schafer, and Udo Kier. It will apparently explore the concept of testing your fear threshold. As for Boktai, the series hasn't been seen since 2007, but it did manage to get 2 sequels on GBA and DS, released titled Lunar Nights. The final game notably dropped the sun sensor that made the original so unique. By the way, that was a Kojima corner. I forgot to say that at the top. So okay. There you go. I had to get that in there somewhere. Not much more to that other than I'd only heard of this Boktai game maybe like a year or so ago. You mentioned it one time, but you've played it. Is that right? Yeah,
I've played one. A friend let me borrow it back in the day over a summer vacation. I freaking love that game. And I have Lunar Nights, which is part 3, but it's not called Boktai in a sense. It's like a spiritual successor type of deal.
Okay.
So it's a trilogy in essence. Never got around to playing 2. And I imagine that either of those games are very expensive these days, as are most Game Boy Advance games. But if I ever come across a little extra cash, I might just think about it, you know? But I love that he compared it to Boktai, because Boktai really is like his most. It's like when Tango Gameworks did Hi-Fi Rush, and everybody's like, "Wait a minute, you made the Evil Within 1 and 2, and now you made something that's a literal 180 from your bread and butter." So if Kojima is doing that and talking about it as he talked about Boktai, then this is going to be something completely different, and I'm all here for it.
Yeah, man, I'm so excited for OD. I mean, I've already talked about it a ton, but I just can't stop watching a trailer. I've watched so many breakdowns of the trailer we got. I keep watching the interview with him and Jordan Peele. Like, man, I am so excited for this game. I mean, you guys all know I'm a sucker for horror. I love like horror games, horror movies, stuff like that. So knowing that Kojima is making another horror game with incredibly, again, I've been watching a lot of breakdown videos, so many references in OD so far to PT. There are so many references to PT in OD, and maybe it's, who knows, maybe the end product, none of that stuff will even be in the game. It was all just fan servicey stuff to get people riled up, but it's like the door, certain sound effects, different, I don't know, there's a whole list of things that it's like, oh my gosh, like to the point where people are like, could he actually just be working on like a Silent Hill game or PT or something that with Jordan Peele, basically? Like there's been people who have been talking about that, and it's like, oh shoot, imagine.
Like somehow he pieced it up with Konami enough to get the name PT back.
Yeah,
Possible.
maybe he's like, maybe there's a deal like, hey, like I get, Jordan Peele involved, this is someone who's not necessarily trusted in games, but trusted in the horror sphere. And maybe they made an agreement like, okay, yeah, if you can convince Jordan Peele to join you, we'll give you another chance. And he did it somehow. Oh man, I don't know. Either way, it's I'm so excited for this. I am bummed it's going to be Xbox exclusive, but at least I have a PC. I'll be able to enjoy it on PC.
I was going to say you have a PC, you're fine.
Although I might need to upgrade my graphics card soon. I saw the new announcement today from Nvidia, so apparently you're planning on overpowering me soon.
I'm getting that 4070 Super, baby.
Dude, I want to upgrade so bad, but I was looking at it. This is off topic, no longer Kojima corner. But I was like, oh shoot, yeah, that'd be awesome. What if I upgrade my GPU? The problem is I would need to pretty much, to not have a huge bottleneck performance-wise on my computer, I'd have to upgrade my CPU. In order to upgrade my CPU, I'd have to upgrade my motherboard. And when I upgrade my motherboard, I'd have to switch to DDR5 RAM, so I'd have to get new RAM. And I'm like, at that point,
you need a new power supply to run all this stuff.
No, I have a beefy power supply already. I have a big 1,000-watt one. It's way overpowered.
So basically, you need to buy a new PC.
But yeah, I need to buy a new motherboard, new CPU, new RAM, just to support the graphics card. I'm like, not this year. I had to spend like $1,800 on PC parts to make that work. I'm like, yeah, probably not.
You know what? Maybe I could find a cheap 3070 or 3080.
Well, even the 40 series, just don't get the super. Just get like a normal 4070 or something like that. Because I'm sure once the supers come out, like the regular 4070s and 4080s or whatever will drop in price. Like,
yeah, I don't play anything but indie games anyway. So
yeah, right.
That's overkill. I mean, the 2070 I have is overkill for indies, but
yeah, the 2070 Super, yeah.
Right.
Totally. Thank you so much for watching that clip from our podcast. Remember, if you want to watch the whole episode, the full episode, link will be in the description below. You can click on that and check it out. We got listener questions. We got more news segments. We got what you playing. We got a lot of fun things. So yeah, more than just the news. There's a lot more to the show that you should go check out. So remember, click that link in the description. Check out that full episode.